Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lincoln Journal Stars 4 Downs. Luke Mullin and Amie Just here with your usual Monday update. Heard from Matt Rhule today, and he had a message. He had a message to the team, to everybody that's been talking about the team, about the effort, the fire that they showed there on Saturday, or perhaps the lack of it is what people were talking about. And he kind of hit back at that a little bit today.
Yeah, he definitely pushed back about, he didn't like the use of the term lack of fire. He was more upset with how they played. Their hesitancy was something that he agreed with. And they just didn't look like themselves, just a bunch of missed assignments. And he kept going on a lot of that for several minutes. But he really pushed back on the lack of fire perception.
Yeah, certainly. And I think, when he was thinking about this defense too, and, the whole team, in fact, he was talking about how they have NFL talent players. And he said they need to go out there and make plays. And, he's comparing them to Michigan, who, of course, has many NFL caliber players as well, saying that they changed the game out there on Saturday. He said, we need our players to change the game.
Yeah, and he didn't use this word, but I feel like he wants them to play more fearlessly. Like, they're so afraid of making mistakes that they're hesitant. And he wants them to just go out there and play unafraid. And yeah, like, you're going to make a mistake. Like, that's football. Football is not a perfect game. That does not happen in football. But he is very frustrated, it feels like, with the hesitancy and them just wanting to play it safe on stuff.
Yeah, talking about cutting them loose, all those sorts of things. But at the same time, he wanted to bring in a little bit of perspective, right? He's saying there's a lot of 2 and 3 teams in the Big Ten right now. Like, I think that was part of the message too. Like, last week was not where he wanted them to be, but there was not any element of like panic or necessarily like major concern outside of all the things that he spoke about there.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that he said on Saturday that he reiterated again today was, I said on Saturday, we're going to find out who we are on Friday. And so I guess we'll see.
Yep. And as they go into this game against Illinois, we got a couple different personnel updates. In terms of the injuries that we saw last week, Luke Reimer was, of course, out. Rhule saying post-game that Reimer had been taken to the hospital. Just today, he kind of specified it wasn't a football-related injury, just kind of a personal health matter. But he's saying Reimer just not going to be able to play Friday in particular as he recovers from that. And also safety Deshaun Singleton, who injured his knee. He will be out for this game. They expect him to miss extended period of time is what Rhule said. So a few weeks, but he did not indicate that that's going to be a season-ending injury.
Which is good, right? The last thing this team needs is more season-ending injuries. I went back and I rewatched parts of the game, and that injury, I don't think they would say that it took a lot of wind out of their sails, but it really felt like it because it looked really scary for a while there. Thankfully, not season-ending, but hopefully he gets back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it shook up a lot of what they wanted to do in the secondary. That was very clear. Rhule said that much in the post-game, and I'm sure, on rewatch, you noticed that too. But those guys, they will be out, but left tackle Turner Corcoran, he's back, he's ready to go. That's a positive update there in the injury department. But also another topic worth talking about, and Rhule addressed it a little bit, the kicking situation. Kicker Tristan Alvano been very good at extra points, but the field goals, there's been several missed field goals over the last couple weeks. Rhule saying today that he still has a lot of confidence in him. They're addressing it in practice. He's working at it hard, but still at a certain point, this can't continue, and that's what Rhule said.
Yeah, it's 3 straight misses for Tristan, and Rhule said, he knows that, he's messing up. He wants to get better. He wants to fix it. He was in practice for a long time yesterday working on it, but in that vein, Matt said that he's still confident, still thinks that Alvano is their guy. Who among us was basically the message that he gave today when asked about Alvano.
Yeah, so sticking by his kicker there. And final update, of course, the quarterbacks. A lot of interest there. Heinrich Harburg having started the last few games. Jeff Sims that returned from that ankle injury. And Amie, you asked Rhule about it. He specified it was a high ankle sprain for Jeff, and that's a difference in terms of the recovery timetable.
Yeah, so I just asked, like, is it safe to say that this has taken longer than you expected? And he goes, no, I wouldn't say that. It's a high ankle sprain that usually takes 4 to 6 weeks. And that's like the first we've heard of a timeline for that, which that's why you ask the question, I suppose.
Absolutely. But both those guys out there practicing, Rhule said, just kind of a case of Sims getting more comfortable, being able to push off that foot, do all the different things that he has to do there in the pocket. But both those guys practicing, they like what they've seen from them. Again, affirming that confidence in Harburg, so a lot of confidence in him. We'll see how Sims heals up. Of course, that bye week after, would fit in with the timeline that Rhule indicated there. But personnel updates, messages to the team. There was a lot going on today. We'll hear from players and coordinators here tomorrow. So appreciate all of you tuning in to today's 4 Downs. We'll see you then.